Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching another interview from the SIL. And today I am absolutely delighted to be able to say I am joined by one of the hottest up and coming talents in the SIL. I've had his CV sent over to me by his manager who raves about him. And I'm going to quote you, George, on this before we even get going in this. I've had one of the youngest up and coming strikers, one of the most talented players I've ever had the privilege of working or playing alongside. How does
It
that
was
sound?
was that Alex? Was it?
It was.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah. I mean, he knows me. That's probably why he's trying to boost me a little. But it's always nice to hear him say it. It's probably because I scored goals for him last season.
So you've recently made the move from Ransoms over to Henley. First of all, before we kind of gets into the nitty gritty of it, how are you initially feeling about it? You've already had a few games already under
Yeah.
your belt to kind of settle in. So how has it been?
Yeah, it's not bad. Main reason was to try and push myself further. To
Okay.
obviously I was reserves of ransoms last year. Didn't really get a look in with the first team, so I'm trying to push myself further now and push
Yeah.
myself with Henley. Obviously, they're one of the clubs in SIL.
Because you had an absolutely unbelievable season. For those who don't really follow the reserve football a huge amount, you scored 30 goals last season in 17 games. You were on fire last season. Why do you think maybe the first team opportunities never sort of like arose? Why do you think that was the case?
Um, Personally, with ransoms, we were both doing well, and I feel like obviously they were top of their league, we were top of our league, so there
Yeah,
wasn't much need to change things. Like while
right.
both clubs, both sides doing well, it was more why not just continue to
Yeah,
do well. They got promoted to senior, the reserves got promoted to the A league, so in the end, it's all worked out. So for the club, better because
hmm
now they're two promotions from both of their sides. So
yeah, definitely. So from your kind of perspective during, we've had obviously a longer, pre-season and time off than what we would do normally. Did it kind of give you more time to think about where you wanted to go in terms of, club wise, personal wise, etc.? Because this only happened maybe a week or so ago, so it's not as if it's been planned maybe a couple of months
yeah,
ago, if you see what I mean. So have you had maybe you've had obviously some time to think about it?
yeah. Obviously, the lockdown break was horrible in a way for like any sort of footballer, no matter what level it was. Hard like to keep fitness and everything up, and it was also mentally like tough, like trying to keep yourself prepared, ready to come back.
Yeah,
Uh, I didn't really think about it too much, to be honest. Alex just said to me, "Come along with the reserves at Henley,"
right.
and he said he messaged the first team manager, and I've trained with him since then, and
Okay.
tried to make my mark like that.
So, in terms of where you're going to be playing next season, have you had many discussions about whether or not it is first team football, whether or not it's going to be reserve team? Because either way, with Henley and Ransoms being promoted with both reserve teams, you were going to be playing 18 football regardless of which team you were going to. But as well, you were also going to be playing senior football, whichever club you
Yeah,
stayed at from a first team perspective. So wherever you go, you're going to be at the highest level that you could possibly be. But have you had many conversations at the moment about what level you're playing at, or are you not really thinking about it at this point?
to be honest, I just went there to start, just to get the fitness back up, really, and tried to get back involved in football. It was then Eva, he spoke to me, he was like, would like to try and get you involved, try and push you for the first team.
Right.
And Alex has supported that. He said, yeah, if you can push on and play first team level, I'm not going to hold you back, which in a way is good to hear from a reserve manager because any player wants to play as high as they can.
Yeah.
So the Henley first team, obviously, there's a lot of good players there already.
Yeah.
I've got to push myself that little bit further to get
Yeah.
there. But yeah, that's where I want to be to come this
Have
season.
you noticed much of a change then? Obviously, you said you've been training with the first team. Have you noticed a bit of a difference compared to what you were doing last season to this year? Is there a big difference?
Yeah, a massive difference because I'll be honest, with the reserves, the ransoms, we didn't train. We never got the numbers to train. So
Really?
training 1-2 times a week, and it's weird because I haven't trained properly since like youth football now. But the training sessions are class. Like there's no real proper fitness. It's just everything's with a ball. You're there for the enjoyment of the football, basically. Obviously, there's a serious side, but then there's like the side where you're there to enjoy it, sort of thing. That's where that sort of got me, and that's why I'm enjoying it so much.
Yeah, definitely. So for this upcoming season, then, what are your personal aims for the season? Obviously, I know from a club perspective, Henley have their own ambitions about what they want to do. They're a massive club in SIL. We don't need to talk about their ambitions. So for you personally, where do you see yourself?
Personally, for me, this season it's about just securing that first team spot. Obviously, I'm an attacker, and the attacking players already there, established, like proven goal scorers. So I'll come into the side, work hard, and I've got to score goals. It's as simple as it sounds. I've got to get in there, score goals, and play well for the team. So for me, about becoming a starter and just keeping that spot there, and then obviously trying to add goals to that, which would be perfect.
So I suppose as well, even if the first team starts are not on a regular basis, if it is reserve football that you have to do just to kind of keep yourself playing and fitness and stuff, how vital is it for you that you've got somebody like Alex who knows your game very well to, I wouldn't say fall back on, but he's there and you know each other so well that there's not really anything to prove in terms of that relationship.
But yeah, that's a positive of him being there now, because I know if I have a bad game or if I'm coming back from, say, an injury, hopefully not, but if I do, I know I can go into the reserve team with Alex. He knows how to play me, what position, how I like to play. So I'm happy where I'm going to be playing football, whether it's with reserves or the first team. Obviously, ideally first team, because the standard's just completely different. It's just a lot better. As simple as that, it's a lot better. But where I want to be. But if the reserves need me, like if I'm injured or coming back or just simply not playing well enough, then I'm play there also.
Definitely. And have you set yourself any personal targets in terms of goals? Are you looking for 30 again this season, or was last year just a bit of a freak season, do you think?
I don't reckon I'll get 30 and 17 this season, but probably 15, 20 goals. It's a tough ask because it's first season and senior level for me as an attacker. So 15, 20 goals would be ideal. Anything more, I'd gladly take.
Happy days. Well, George, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm definitely going to be coming down to see either the first team or the reserves at some point, because Alex keeps bugging me for to go down and watch some of his games. So I definitely will be coming down to see you. So hopefully, whichever game I'm at, I can see you in action, see what you're all about, because I've heard a lot of good things about you. So it'd be nice to finally put the action on the pitch to the words, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be decent to see you down there.
Definitely. Well, thanks very much for your time, George. Really appreciate it. If you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to take that support one step further. There are Patreon and Ko-fi links, which are down in the description below. But until next time, as always, adios.